All right, here's our next problem. For the next problem, it asked us to find the grams of carbon dioxide. Now, grams isn't anywhere in PV equals nRT, but moles is, and remember, we can easily go from moles to grams. So that's what we're looking for in this. Before we can plug it into PV equals nRT, we need to get everything into the appropriate unit. My pressure is in millimeters of mercury, so I'm going to have to convert that to atmospheres. Remember, for every 1 atmosphere, there's 760 millimeters of mercury. So I'm going to put this in my calculator, and I'm going to get 1.04 atmospheres. My volume's in liters, which is appropriate. R is always atmospheres times liters over moles times Kelvin. That doesn't really matter. But temperature needs to always be in Kelvin. So I'm going to add 273.15 here. And I'm going to get out 307.15, but I'm going to round it to 307 Kelvin because I'm only rounding to 0 decimal places. Now that I have my correct units, I'm going to plug this into PV equals nRT. So I have my pressure. My sister's making pasta. You definitely heard that. So I plugged my PV N times R times T. And then I'm going to solve for X. I'm going to put this all in my calculator at the same time, but I'm going to use parentheses for each side. So when I put this in, I'm going to use parentheses 0.04 times 45.1 divided by 0.0821 times 307. And I get that X is 1.87 moles of CO2. Now remember though, this is the moles and the problem wanted grams. So even though I've done PV equals nRT, I'm not done with this problem. I still have to convert it to grams, and I'm going to use its molar mass. So I'm going to put 1 mole on the bottom, and I'm going to use the molar mass on top. So take the mass of carbon plus 2 times the mass of oxygen. So I'm going to get 44.01 grams, times that by the moles I just calculated, and I'm going to get out that I have 82.3 grams of CO2. Okay, so I first did PV equals nRT, and then I used its molar mass to get it to grams.